Hello everybody, and of course, welcome to the ESPL weekly series. We are all the way up to number 5. Not too many more to go until we get to that big final event with, at the moment, $7,800 in the prize pool. Sigma Gaming and Cloud9 going to be showing up for that as well. And I mean, that prize pool is only going to get bigger and bigger, and hopefully the team pool will only get better and better. I, of course, am Briefcase, and along with me is the lovely, handsome, talented, and at the very least, my favorite co-caster I've ever had, Mito.
Yeah, what's up, guys? Dude, so many people are asking me to give them shout-outs, but no. If we do that, I'm gonna reserve it all the way to the end to guarantee that everyone will stay here to watch. Ha, so there.
Fair enough. I mean, yeah, I suppose for me, though, there's pretty much nobody who I know who's watching this right now, simply because for everybody who doesn't know, it's a very early morning for me, and not only that, since I'm a not too bad looking Canadian boy, there is an Olympic gold medal hockey game going on right now in the third period, and everybody's watching that.
Oh, well, sorry, man. Like, never enjoyed watching Olympics since I was in Australia. They just played everything, like, literally in one TV channel, and that was it. That's all you get. So you can be waiting for like 10 hours for one sport, and then it plays for 5 minutes, and that's it. So I prefer it. Let's just focus on the game and forget all about Olympics.
I was gonna say I'll just check the scores after this game and then see who won. I think Canada was up, but nonetheless, this ban out from top 5. I mean, it saddens me a little. What your take on it? It looks like top 5 really does think that Ember Spirit may be still a little too strong to be in captain's mode, it looks like, because they just shoot out with that ban right away, and we haven't even seen him played at all in this tournament, and I personally haven't even seen him played that much in any professional tournaments as well. So I mean, do you think that this is for to make a hero viable for them, seeing as how he does counter some heroes, but nothing like hard and fast by any means?
Oh god. This is like one of those good and bad bans at the same time. It's good that they banned out the hero because they recognize just how good Ember is. But at the same time, it's like, man, why did you ban that hero? We want to see that hero being played. Oh man, but still, this is awesome. Crystal Maiden plus Wisp.
Ooh. Dude, we haven't seen a Wisp. I don't think we've ever seen a Wisp in the tournament. He fell off almost entirely when his stun got turned into a 100% slow.
Yeah, man. But yeah, all they need to look for now is, apart from the carry. I mean, carry is always going to be fairly obvious, where you have the Tiny, Rikimaru, I don't know, Morphling, CK, whatnot. But the other two heroes, preferably, are initiators. Say something like OD, where you can just banish someone and then let the relocate have time to come in, or Lion, Storm, Clockwork, any of those. So as long as you look for good initiation, then top 5, they'll be in pretty good shape. But at the same time, Druckwelle, they're going for the Life Stealer Bomb themselves. So both teams, they're going to be highly mobile, carrying... like, every time you're going to see, like, this, say, a 2-man gank or something, it's going to turn into a 5-on-5 fight. Yeah. As soon as, say, Wisp hits level 6, essentially. So I am expecting this to be a very action-packed game. Unless Druckwelle just runs an aggressive trial lane, shuts down top 5 from the beginning to end, and then it's gonna be relatively hard. Tiny has been banned out, but Ricky is still in the pool, and Ricky plus Wisp, it's such a favorable combo up against the Life Stealer.
Oh yeah, and I've actually I really like the fact that top 5 banned out Disruptor. They know that if he's ever part of the party that gets Wisp ulted onto, it's a simple disruption or a simple glimpse away, and that can really screw everything up. But like you were saying, with Nature's Prophet in the pool along with Wisp, I think it's going to come down to a lot of, and now Bounty Hunter, it looks like top 5 obviously going for those big pickoff plays and finding that gold, and Bounty Hunter obviously hopefully going to be a big part of that strategy. But I was going to say, I think we're going to see a little bit of chicken out of Nature's Prophet and Wisp, and just like, who's going to TP in first? And then who's going to come and back up the rest of that fight?
Well, essentially, Nature's Prophet has the upper hand because he can teleport a lot more than the Wisp can. And Druckwelle should be keeping tabs on every time the Wisp uses relocate. Just having the timer down, knowing exactly when the Wisp can come in, will allow them a lot more space to make the decisions, like on whether they want to gank, want to push, or just how they want to execute the strat. Bounty Hunter, I don't particularly enjoy that hero pick. Sure, that hero, like, it used to work really nicely with the Wisp relocate combo, but since the tether no longer provides a stun, it just makes it that much easier to escape out of the combo. So if Druckwelle, but Puck has been removed, but if they go for heroes like Queen of Pain, or like highly mobile ones, Mirana, then it's still going to be really hard to catch anyone with relocate. Plus, there's still heroes like Naga Siren, but
Yeah, which of course
not
really
sure if
does.
there's room for Druckwelle to pick up.
Yeah. But yeah, Naga Siren, one of those heroes that really does screw over the Wisp combo. You see them coming in and you just pop the ult and job done. And I mean, but then again, Druckwelle, they don't even technically really need to get really mobile healers if they don't want to. They can just get some good 5-on-5 team fighters, and then once everybody gets some levels, gets some gold, they can just force those team fights. And of course, that's not really what you want to have happening when you have a Wisp. Yeah, he's got spirits, he's got overcharge, but if you're not using his ult and finding kills with it, or basically doing anything with it, then what's the point of having that support?
Oh, true. There's so many options Druckwelle can do. They can go highly aggressive. They can run aggressive Charlie. With that Visage pickup, and just having that Nature's Prophet being able to TP in at a moment's notice, they have what it takes right now to go aggressive. And top 5 still has plenty of options though. They can still go for dual lanes, like running Luna with dual mid, and just have the Wisp stack up for the Luna. And yeah, it's also very versatile. But top 5, so far, this is the worry that I have every time I see a Luna up against a Lifestealer. If you can't outfarm the Lifestealer as a Luna, especially say at the 30-minute mark, when Lifestealer gets a Basher or even Abyssal if he does well, then Luna is gonna struggle very hard against these type of heroes. If you summon a bunch of Treants, Familiars, you have the Lifestealer with Rage Form, how much is your Eclipse gonna do?
Yeah, exactly. And I mean, like just looking at the lineup that top 5 has, they have Crystal Maiden, obviously. Bounty Hunter can throw out a stun to try and interrupt some stuff, and Luna as well, but I'm not seeing any hard and fast and really strong lockdown besides possibly the Frostbite, and for me that worries me a little bit. I'm not seeing any really strong target for the Wisp ult quite yet in Luna, and obviously like she's got the movement speed to really make use of it, and there's that Queen of Pain you were mentioning where that's a hero that is going to be having a pretty easy time getting away from Wisp and whoever they combo up with. Obviously though, Luna plus EO, or I should say Wisp because nobody calls him EO, but that extra movement speed from the tether going to be making Luna run incredibly quickly, but I mean I'm just not sure if that's going to be really enough without a dedicated stun to really catch anybody out and kill them, and especially someone like a Lifestealer where it's really difficult to actually take him out. If Visage can use his birds well, or just a Grave Chill as well to get out of there, I think it's going to be already quite difficult just to take down anyone from Team Druckwelle. And I mean, so actually one thing I wouldn't mind seeing, and I'm not too sure, obviously it's not going to happen this time around, but what do you think of a Wisp and Faceless Void combo if he gets an early Mask of Madness?
Your lane is gonna get crushed.
Yeah.
That's the first thing that comes to mind. Your laning is like essentially one of the weakest in the game ever. You're relying on Faceless Void to get some of those bashes, maybe with the Wisp overcharge, but or unless you completely dodge the aggro from the other team. Ooh, nice Stalker. Now that's the frontline hero they need, as well as the additional silence. So yeah, it's actually not so bad. The question is whether they or not they can get that momentum going. If Night Stalker plus Bounty Hunter has been one of the old school infamous combos. They move so freaking fast with the track, and Night Stalker always been a hero that's great at diving, and he can charge in, silence up a hero, cast a void. Hopefully Wisp and Luna will be able to relocate on time, and easy pickups all around.
It really
So,
does feel though like top five. They need one hero to go in, throw down, get a Janata proc on Bounty Hunter or Night Stalker to throw down a Void,
ouch.
and then they do have a nice amount of, you know, we can continue on with that with the Wisp. But I'm not sure if just Wisp Luna is ever going to be able to find a pick off all on their own.
Yep. Oh, that's some. Okay, so Druckwelle, right? Every time they win a team fight, they can capitalize it with the amount of pushing power they have from the Nature's Prophet, as well as say some of the familiars, and they have everything they need to clear creep waves. Whereas top five, it feels like okay, if they win a team fight, it's not as big. Sure, it all depends on like a couple of things. Whether Bounty has enough levels to, because I mean track makes a huge difference depending on the level it is. So the higher the better. So if they win a team fight, it's slightly harder to capitalize on towers, unless Luna gets like a decent chunk of farm early game.
Oh yeah, yeah. But let's get into
Druckwelle.
who's actually playing who. Just before we do all that, we're gonna have Subark on the Life Stealer, Miffy or Miffy, as I was so informed early on, as the Visage. Marky gonna be this Nature's Prophet. Dwork It Baby gonna be the Sand King, and then do they find this Wisp? No Grave Chill being used, and of course the Tether to get out of there. But I still need to say that Cube gonna be playing this Queen of Pain over here on top 5. Some people I haven't seen too much of. Shanks the Crystal Maiden, 3-2-1 as this Wisp, which I quite love as a name if you're gonna be a Wisp. Fly gonna be the only one with wings. Wrong, this Bounty Hunter, and it looks like 1, 2, 3 this Luna. That's not confusing, but of course they should be paired up, and hopefully will be. So 3, 2, 1 and 1, 2, 3. Gonna be buddy-buddy, I hope, in this game.
Oh, so they're all looking to dodge aggressive trialing, but what? Wow. What's going on? They're gonna put the Lifestealer mid for Druckwelle, so Surak will be up against the Night Stalker. And instead, the Queen of Pain is rotating down bot, and it's gonna be up against the Crystal Maiden plus the Luna. Druckwelle, they love to play their mind games. And mid, do we have an engagement on Missy?
Yes, we do, and Fly already in heap of trouble, but 3, 2, 1 is there to try and make sure he gets out of there, and that movement speed gonna be just enough. Miffy not quite with enough damage with that double damage rune, and as far as this bot is concerned, these are some weird feeling lanes. Like you said, you have Subark in the mid, and Miffy actually there helping him out, but I don't even know if he needs to be there. When you're pitting a Lifestealer up against another melee hero, they're actually very equal in how their base damage is as well as their HP, but Night Stalker with just so much more armor to his name, he's going to be having an alright time, but I mean, still though, Subark just needs to get 1 point into Feast, and it's going to be really scary for Fly to go in for any last hits.
This is some really interesting laning choice from Druckwelle. I don't know.
Oh, Miffy
why
needs
they
to
don't
be
want...
really careful here. He's getting really low, and if Night Stalker can punish him for this, a single Void will do it. But of course, he has to Grave Chill now to get away. Still getting an Envision. Fly just needs to land one little hit. So close to actually catching him out. Fly, though. Oh, is he going to be in range of Void? It looks like he's just barely out of range of Void. And now Subark using that open wounds just to make sure that Miffy survives. And, I mean, he still needs to be really careful. Fly still looking to find this Visage wherever he possibly can. Missing out on some farm and experience in the mid at the very least. That's looking good for Subark, and it looks like Miffy, he needs to be really careful right now about Fly. Fly does get that early bottle because he rushed it, of course, getting pooled a bit, and finds an invisibility rune, so lucky for him. He's got to be enjoying that, and that's going to make, obviously, Miffy quite a lot more conservative in where he moves right now.
It's interesting. I don't particularly enjoy this laning choice from Druckwelle. I feel like they could have taken the trial lane, and Queen of Pain, early levels, just completely dominates Night Stalker. And as soon as last Night Stalker gets, like, say, level 5 or 6, you know he's gonna make a dive on Queen of Pain or something. Just have a TP ready on one of the supports. Come in to help out, say, Miffy's already more than enough. Just the Grave Chill should be able to stop the aggression from the Night Stalker. So, they have the potential to win 2 or even all 3 lanes, but with this laning choice, I feel like they're giving Luna a lot more room to breathe. But at the same time, with the dual lanes running, the supports are getting a lot more for Druckwelle, so it's kind of a give or take. You give a little less to the cores, but the supports, they can come online a bit earlier.
Oh yeah, and I mean QP on the bottom lane, He obviously can't do too much here as far as aggression, but he can soak up pretty much as much experience as he wants. He's also very safe to try and get those last hits, being quite difficult though with the amount of denies coming out of top 5. In this top lane, it looks like Marky has been forced out finally by Wrong, but a quick double TP to get back and in. It's going to be barely missing out on any experience or farm there.
You know what's funny? This sentry ward right here. Oh,
that's gotta hurt.
It's barely out of range for both of them.
Oh.
The observer as well as the sentry, just ever so slightly.
Man, and that's the same thing that happens to me whenever I'm playing support and any of my pull camps are gone. I have the hardest time finding those goddamn wards. Now it looks like Marky getting a little bit of harass right now, and this Orb of Venom going to be helping Wrong as much as possible. Looks like now that nighttime has happened, he has gotten 2 points in Hunter in the Night, no points in Crippling Fear, and we're getting some nice little rune control, but Sand King actually gets the haste there, and Burrow Strike's just barely up onto this cliff because of that incredibly short range, so at the very least is giving Subarc a little bit of extra rune control right now, and it looks like he now has, what has he got going his way, and of course I missed out on a first blood because there is an engagement mid, talk about it later, but Fly melting absolutely to these two supports, and with that Soul Assumption being there, along with this hasted Sand King, I mean there's not too much he can do. So sorry everybody that I missed out on Wrong getting that first blood on the Nature's Prophet though.
You don't really expect that much of a trade from a Nature's Prophet and a Bounty Hunter when there are sentries down. Sure, if there are no sentries, Bounty Hunter will have the upper hand. But with sentries and face boots on... Oh, okay, so there's no face boots on Nature's Prophet just yet. But it's not that hard to lane against the Bounty. Quite curious as to what happened. I missed it as well, so... Yeah, gonna go check out the VOD afterwards, I suppose. Or the replay.
Yeah, it just seems like he's gotten 3 points in Shuriken Toss. He's got enough mana to toss it, of course, maybe 2 times, and he's just realizing that there are sentries. He doesn't have to be using Shadow Walk at all, and he's just keeping track onto Marky all the time, and with that, always going to be able to outrun him. So I think that's really what's coming down to it. Still though, I mean, they're shutting down Fly fairly nicely in the mid. Lifestealer not getting as much farm as I would have left, and he's actually having to run all the way back home. And I mean, that's a long time for one of your cores to be out of lane, not getting farm, not getting levels. At the very least, they are giving it to Miffy, but he is so close to getting dived by Fly right now that he needs to be so careful. He can't contest this lane at all.
Oh yeah, and 6 minutes in,
oh, looks like Wrong once again going on to Marky, a simple little sprout to try and help himself out, and those spirits not able to quite finish him off, and boom, that's exactly what's happening. Cupid though, all over this, TP's in, does get 3-2-1 very quickly, but Fly is here, now Cupid only going to be food for him. No Crippling Fear, doesn't need it however, and because of that, looks like Bounty Hunter going to be loving that. That last little tower shot not quite able to polish him off, and I mean, I think that at the very least, Nature's Prophet was a track kill. That other one on on QP might have been one as well. So I mean, this Bounty Hunter finally getting, or at least getting a little bit rich now. Actually, gets his phase boots, gets a bottle, pretty much scot-free, and now just runs back. So doing quite nicely.
Ooh, he's really rich.
Yeah, he's quite rich, isn't he?
Like face boots, bottle, yeah, first blood, triple kill, track gold on top.
Oh yeah, no, he is and I think every single one of those, of course, is going to be a track kill, so he's going to be loving it. And now with no sentries in the mid, they need to be really careful here. It looks like they're trying to set something up, but QP needs to be careful. Where's that Crippling Fear? Just one will do it. And there it is, and of course they do polish him off. It looks like EO is here to help out. Soul Assumption, not quite enough. Actually uses it on Wrong, of all people, instead of Fly. Don't think it would have even killed him, but that is A-okay, and Fly pops that ult now, and the regen rune, so his life is just going very pretty right now. Miffy needs to be incredibly careful. Does finally get a sentry, but I mean, a little bit too late, and right now, looks like top 5's lineup that has come online quite nicely. You have Bounty Hunter. If he even finds the Sand King in the jungle, he's going to be having a great time, and now just rotating around knowing that this sentry is down, just staying out of range of that mid lane, of where he thinks the sentry is, and finds Miffy, and of course, there's the dive right away, and track kills left, right, and center for this Bounty Hunter. Not only that, nice stun on 2, however. They can't seem to capitalize quite yet. Wrong is here, Cupid in a disastrous position, but eats a tree. They finally do find Fly, using that ult to make sure he does not get away. Wrong now, running around, playing Ring Around the Rosie with this sentry ward. Does finally get out of range of it. No dust available and no more sentries. Looks like Wrong just getting out of this pretty much scot-free, but gets, ooh, almost could have gotten a courier kill there. Very scary to be that. But looks like he gets out of here not too badly.
No, he's gonna wait for the courier to return and kill it on the way back.
Oh,
and
you
he might just be able to do
cheeky jerk now. Boom. Oh, this is the richest bounty hunter I think I've seen in a really long time. 8.5 minutes in, he's got his bracer, he's well on his way to his drums. He's already got Phase, Bottle, Poor Man's, Orb of Venom. Whew. He is just loving this right now.
Once again, I think it's a laning problem from Druckwelle. If you let the Cube as Queen of Pain solo up against Fly's Night Stalker with the Shadow Strike, sure, Shadow Strike has more mana cost now, but it's still more than enough to zone out Fly, even with Bottle Crowing. And Coop is always going to have the upper hand with the rune controls, if we put the supports aside. But then, like, it wouldn't have been this easy for the Night Stalker to net. Well, he doesn't have any kills, but he has 3 assists. And, yeah, top 5 wouldn't have been able to snowball this early.
Oh yeah, and I mean right now, Fly, he's picked up that Ogre Club to get what I assume is either, I want to say a BKB, because there are some good spells to try and block with that one. Obviously, could be a Sage or that sort of thing, but I mean, not exactly what I'm expecting. And now, I want to see if 1-2-3 and 3-2-1 actually go down and try to defend this tower, but it doesn't look like it. Just falling too quickly. Wrong is here, just waiting to see what comes. And a sentry goes down immediately. They see him there, and I don't see this bounty hunter getting out of here alive. The Grave Chill being used, everything flying on him, but he did survive for a surprisingly large amount of time. And what I was saying though, Fly, he's picked up that Ogre Club. He's almost too tanky now for Queen of Pain to do anything to him. Pretty much too tanky for anybody to do anything to him. So you're going to need at least 2, maybe even 3 heroes to take him out. And at nighttime, just don't even try.
And this is something we discussed during the draft phase. Druckwelle, they can capitalize on kills and just go for power pushes so freaking fast. And now with the medallion up on Miffy, they can take Roche. They can sneak a Roche really fast.
Oh yeah, and I mean, I think that's where it's going to come right down to it is, obviously you have this very rich bounty hunter, they've been getting kills left, right, and center top 5, and they have a really nice ganking lineup in pretty much every which way. As soon as it's nighttime, this Night Stalker is going to do quite a bit. Whenever a gank goes horribly awry, or even just starts, you have that Wisp and Luna always available, and Bounty Hunter is obviously going to be quite close, but once they do get those ganks, they can really just go, okay, we got a kill. And now we can sit back and farm more. They can't really go, we got a kill, and now we can go and, ooh, it looks like Miffy melting immediately. Subarc hiding there, though. And, of course, now there are no sentries down. Subarc trying to be careful here. It looks like Dorkit Baby in a heap of trouble. Nice little stuns coming out, and now Subarc actually in a heap of trouble has been voided, has been put to sleep. Actually not voided quite yet, but there is that track, and now there's just nothing you can do. Cupid, though, does look like he gets a kill onto this Wisp. Dorkit Baby, though, in the wings, trying to make it happen. Fly with this haste rune actually doesn't quite get Cupid, so a nice little bit of play there, and Luna deciding just to go and farm, obviously quite low. So when it comes right down to it, Druckwelle getting the better of that engagement vastly, and like you're saying, when Druckwelle gets a kill, or like 1 or 2 kills, they get a tower. When top 5 gets a kill, they get more farm. And I think when it comes down to it, if you can just control these towers, or at least control the map, kill these towers, and really just dictate where top 5 can go, and basically be the aggressors in that way, you might be able to shut them down enough to really just take it and go.
Yeah, well, if you look at Bounty Hunter, he's a great roaming hero, right? But with the towers, all of the tier 1s still standing, his space is so limited as to what he can do. The more towers you take down, the better it is for Bounty and Night Stalker. It means a couple of things. First of all, no detection. Second thing, no TP supporting. The supports are going to take a while to be able to come to help out, and by the time they get there, the hero's most likely dead. And like that's what we mean by like map control, as well as just having more room to farm. Like the opponent are squished up, and they're forced to clump up in a tiny amount of space and area. And yeah, that's what top 5 lacks, is that capability to take towers until Luna is fat.
Yeah, exactly. But I mean, if you can take these towers early enough for Druckwelle, Luna's not really going to have the opportunity to get fat. You're going to limit the space that she can farm in more and more. And I mean, like you were saying, Wrong, he's just got such a limited area that he can try and actually roam and gank in. And it's just not... I mean, it worked out pretty nicely in the early game, but now it's starting to get into the mid game a little bit, and it looks like he's starting to have a kind of a rough time just finding people to actually take out. And I mean, the more and more Druckwelle groups up, the harder and harder that's going to be as well.
Oh yeah, so now that's the third tier 1 tower for Druckwelle, and there's still no answer whatsoever coming out of top 5.
They do have
And
this
they're forced to play.
Helm of the Dominator, however. Once again, Miffy just in a heap of trouble. Always seems to be having a rough time, and is going to be feeding this Luna or Night Stalker right there. And just more and more track kills going the way of this Bounty Hunter. So at the very least, he is getting very rich. His teammates there as well to get quite a bit of track gold. So not too bad. And now those familiars as well. No resummon coming out, obviously, because that Visage is dead. So a little bit unfortunate, but... I mean, top 5, if we look at this gold graph, they're actually not leading in gold despite how many nice pickoffs they're getting, all the track gold, and those familiars, that sort of thing. But that's mostly and probably a lot in part of those tier 1s, obviously. As far as experience, however, almost dead even at the moment. So still pretty much anybody's game. I think, though, Druckwelle, though, with how they're taking these towers, if they can keep this up, things are going to be going very nicely for them.
Oh yeah, so now you see a little bit of pressure on the mid tower. And heroes are just starting to come in. Oh, if those familiars landed, that would have been a dead Crystal Maiden. Yeah, I'm just waiting to see when Druckwelle they're gonna start like making that go on the Roche. That's gonna secure a lot more for Subak. He's gonna be like going around, and he doesn't have to play as defensively. He doesn't have to be farming their own jungle, because yeah, with the Aegis, that's what you do.
And I mean, Wrong, he's still just roaming around, seeing whatever he can do. He's still finding some good, basically some good finds, but not doing too much. And now stuck in the Sprout. Queen of Pain getting here right away. He is dusted, not for too much longer, however. And if they can finally catch him off, looks like Queen of Pain just needs to bottle. Doesn't quite have enough mana to use that Scream. Does finally just get it off, but it's not going to be enough. I don't think Shadow Strike will do it. It doesn't look like it. And with that, going to be down to 38 HP, but no kill going their way. And I mean, now, it looks like top 5... It just feels like, yeah, Night Stalker should be doing quite a lot during these night times, and this one has not been so good for him.
Oh yeah, and traditionally, whenever you have darkness during nighttime, you just pop it to extend the overall length of the night. But he hasn't been doing it so far. Yeah, no idea why. Maybe he wants to save it for the more crucial moments.
Could be, and obviously they are stacking this up quite nicely with this dominated creep. So, while Luna does need to get quite fat, and he's basically just been free farming this entire game, they do have some ways to play from behind. Obviously, they continue to stack this. It looks like it's up to what is that? Probably 4 stacks, 5 stacks at the moment, and Luna now no points in glaives just yet. So that stack is still quite a ways away from actually getting taken by her. But I mean, once that finally does happen, it feels like once they finally basically pull the trigger on that stack and make sure Luna is as fat as can be, has a BKB, because she really does need one, then maybe they'll be able to take towers, but that still feels like quite a ways away right now.
They're using Miffy as a bait right now, and the supports are starting to come in. You see,
ooh, Fly going in. Maybe he wants to use Darkness now, but now there's the stun. Grave Chill down as well, and Soul Assumption flying. Ooh, that bait, my friend. Huh. And now with that, you actually have Wisp stuck in the Sprout as well. Cupid gonna be taking him out, and 1, 2, 3 realizing, you know what? This was a horrible go. We need to get out of here. And with those 2 down, it just looks like Druckwelle happy to basically team up, go as 5, and I mean, they can kind of even push this if they want to. They know Luna isn't quite farmed enough to really stop it. They might be able to find this stack,
Druckwelle.
and if they do,
they're going to see the stack.
Druckwelle, they see that massive stack now. They're going to want to take it. Not that they have the best heroes to do so, but at the very least, now Cupid in a little bit of trouble. Might actually fall to these creeps, trying really hard not to attack. Oh man, why is there auto attack on Cupid? And then finally does get out of there just in time. Looks like Wrong trying to hunt him down and might be successful. Not too sure about it. If I mean, obviously Cube still tracked, but that's going to run out just in time by the time Bounty Hunter gets close to her. So he's got to just blink away, TPing away. It looks like Wrong not going to be able to get there quite in time. And they do see the stack, but there's nothing that they can really do with the rest of top 5 finally coming back into the game. And now smoking up as well, seeing if they can't find anybody.
Oh yeah. I thought if Wrong gets it, oh, the toss comes out slightly late. Yeah, but it's quite weird. If Luna, you're gonna stack so much, right? Usually you get at least 2 levels into Moonglaive, so you can take a stack this early on. Otherwise, oh okay, now he's got 1 level into it. Still not quite enough though. Needs at least 2 level into Moonglaives before he can start taking stacks efficiently. Something that he should have thought out a bit more, but at the same time, I was quite surprised Druckwelle didn't have a ward on the Ancients, because as soon as you see a Helm of Dominator on Luna, it should just become basic instinct, you know, you're like, okay, this hero is definitely stacking. There's no other ways around it.
Oh yeah, and now it just looks like Druckwelle realizing, you know what, nobody's really around here, we can just pressure this tower, put a little bit of damage on it. Obviously you do have Wisp available to relocate at pretty much any time, but you do have a hidden lifestealer in Cube, so always a little bit dicey, and now it looks like they might be trying to set something up. They do have that track still on Dwarky Baby, gonna be running out fairly shortly, however, but this is a lot of pot shot damage they've gotten on this tower. Still obviously gonna be out of deny range, but not doing too badly, and it looks like they're not trading exactly, but still doing quite a bit of damage, and it's just barely out of deny range. Really nice little play there. They want to make sure that they can go in and pressure it until it actually does fall. However, not seeing too many. They do have a Dust available, and Sand King's got that Blink, so not even Bounty Hunter is going to be safe here, and obviously Nature's Prophet can turn this into a 5-on-5. Little bit worried at the fact that Lifestealer, of course, is in Cube right now, missing out on some farm, while you have Luna continuing to get in there. Almost has Moonglaives level 2 or Eclipse level 2, depending on what you want. And still, though, it's just like they seem like they've neutered this push up top. And now, what does Druckwelle do? Continue to go in and I guess force a fight. Nighttime almost upon us, however, and now Fly does turn on that darkness, the clearest form of, yeah, we want to go in and engage, and it looks like just not quite able to find Cube in time, and that last little blink, going to be able to pretty much get her out of there alive. Fly, though, can't quite chase down and not wanting to go past the river. Of course, just a little bit too scared of the water, and now with 1, 2, 3, actually still got 2 points in Eclipse, opted not to use that point for Moonglaze. This is going to be a very slow stack get.
Well, he definitely needs that level 2 Eclipse. It's not really a choice, but it's just the build before that. Maybe just getting one fewer level in Luna Blessing and going for the Moonglaves would have benefited a lot more, I suppose. And at the same time, Druckwelle, they're just gonna let this slip. So yeah, that's gonna be a huge boost to Luna's farm once he gets the entire stack. And right now, Druckwelle, they're just slightly, well, no longer scared because it's like daytime again, but it's gonna be nighttime very soon.
Oh, and now Miffy actually has an eye. He does see Wrong right here. Might be able to try and make something happen, but with no SK around at all, not gonna pan out. But yeah, this stack, they actually do need to call in some reinforcements to make sure it happens. And obviously 1, 2, 3 gonna be loving that gold, sitting at a tidy $3,500. Gonna be getting all the way up to probably 3,800, I'd suspect. Ooh, a little bit more, in fact, 39. Maybe even 4K, come on. But a Necronomicon now going down for
Blackjackins get 200.
the Nature's Prophet as well. I mean, that's an instant BKB for 1, 2, 3, which he needs, but I mean, still though, not exactly a fast BKB at the moment. And I mean, still gonna be really hard to catch, especially with Wisp with him. I mean, he's moving at 418 all on his own, gonna be moving at what, 450 or so with Wisp with him. So 1, 2, 3 still gonna be quite difficult to kill, but she's still so squishy, even with that BKB. Only about a K 1000, I should say, life. Not too much really when you have the amount of burst that can come out of Druckwelle right now, and they actually do smoke up. If they get a stun on Luna before she even has a chance, but of course they do find Fly instead, has his own BKB, now Cube in a little bit of trouble, has been frostbitten, and there's that Eclipse making a lot of work happen. Familiars, of course, knifing those up doesn't really matter. They get the Luna, doesn't even matter right now. Crystal Maiden as well. Cube gonna almost fall. This Bounty Hunter can almost taste it. Can't quite get it. Fly barely alive right now as that's happening. Wrong in a bit of trouble. 3-2-1 trying to help out as much as humanly possible. They just can't seem to find Fly over here on the left, however. They do have these creeps doing a little bit, and now we have a TP going in. Can Marky find one hit? Can't quite get there in time, and it looks like 3-2-1 able to aid Bounty Hunter and get him out of there. So you trade your support Sand King for your carry Luna and Crystal Maiden. I mean, Druckwelle always seeming to come out ahead in these fights. Did Luna just not pop her BKB? No, she didn't. She just melted.
It might have been the delay for her. Maybe holding it until you see the Sonic Wave, but then realizing afterwards that with the slight delay, it might just not be able to do it on time. But yeah, I don't know. Like, he had, I feel like there was more than enough sufficient time for him to turn on the BKB, but it just didn't happen, and he just melted.
Now we have an engagement
combo.
into the mid. It looks like Wrong getting stunned. Sprout coming up as well, and with the tower fallen, this is a pretty easy get if they can go for him. 1-2-3 is here. No Eclipse, obviously. It looks like Fly just tunnel visioning right onto Marky. Pops the BKB just to try and get to him, and Marky actually, that Sprout may be enough to actually save him, it looks like. They are able to find a Luna and a Wrong, and a Crystal Maiden. Fly, though, as well, might get caught out here. Some beautiful body blocks coming out, and it looks like Team Druckwelle just with some incredibly nice, crisp play. There's a triple kill, was it? Triple kill going the way of Visage, it seems. And with that, does anybody have buyback available for this Dire team? Wisp does, but of course, without a counterpart, he's not going to be doing too much, and this is going to be a Rax.
Oh, yeah. And it might even be a Roche afterwards. Might not have enough time, because top 5 are respawning. But yeah, this is the power of the Furion, allowing you to push whenever you want. And yeah, generally just, it's just very nice.
And I mean, I don't know if they're going to be going for this Roche, obviously. It's nighttime. At the very least, they're going to see if the stack was there. But Subarc is still tracked. They don't really want to give it away. And obviously with Luna, she's got Eclipse up available right now. They're not going to want to go and try and take this at all. And Marky, of course, with the Necro 3, he doesn't need to fear Wrong quite that heavily anymore. If Wisp can get here, however, one stun comes out, it's not going to be enough, and a simple little TP out of there will make sure Marky gets out of that one. Fly not able to crippling fear him quite fast enough. Just can't get there in time.
Well, Night Stalker almost made it there, and if he did, then it would be pretty interesting. Furion probably wouldn't have been able to get out. He didn't have a TP scroll.
Oh yeah, just wouldn't have been able to do too much by any means. Now it looks like, I mean, they just got to go back and stack, really. They got to make sure that they know that they're playing from behind. If we look at the gold, Team Druckwelle sitting at a good, tidy, almost 12,000 gold lead. Experience-wise, sitting at, 8,000 or so. So top 5 still playing from behind. It looks like they know he's here, though. And now they're going to make 1-2-3 pay for this. Nice little epicenter coming out. Can't quite find anybody, but Subarc right on top of that Crystal Maiden, getting a double kill now. And this is what I'm talking about. Now it looks like Dwork It Baby trying his very best to take down 3-2-1. Doesn't matter. Subarc, though, that is a triple kill for this Lifestealer. So while he wasn't farming straight up quite as much as the Luna, he is getting a tidy sum of kills. And I mean, just finding those kills and shutting down the Luna, more importantly, right when she really does need to start coming online. He's basically become a race car now almost as well, almost finishing up that Sange and Yasha, and next on the line is going to be a Basher. It just feels like Team Druckwelle able to capitalize on these kills far greater than top 5 can.
Yeah, even till now, they still have 2 of their tier 1 standing strong. And yeah, they're just gonna slowly chip their way in. With 1 Rax being gone, and you're up against Nature's Prophet, it's gonna be very, very tough for top 5 to come back. But 6-slot Luna, maybe?
Yeah, yeah, exactly. 6-slot Luna, always quite difficult to deal with, but I mean, she still doesn't have as much HP as you would really want your Luna to have. That BKB not able to really do too much for her. Smoke does go down now. The only one who is seen right now is Luna, and it just looks like they can't really find anything. Maybe trying to catch them, taking their stacks, but of course that has That has already been done. And now just top 5 having to play incredibly defensively, which is not at all what their lineup is meant to do. They're supposed to be finding pickoffs, trying to use that Wisp combo, and as far as I can tell, haven't even gotten a single kill, I think, with the Wisp combo, or at least to guarantee it. They've been around for a few track kills, but it hasn't really played out as much as they've wanted. So this ganking kind of map controlling lineup really not panning out, and especially now that Marky has Necro 3, it's just going to get that much more difficult to actually stop these pushes.
Yeah, I mean, looking at Wrong on the Bounty Hunter, he's had those items for a very long time. Like 10 minutes into the game, that's pretty much what he had, and it's stalled ever since. Sure, he's very close to BKB, but look, if you compare to how he was doing right off the bat, it has completely come to a halt, I would say.
Oh yeah. And I mean, yeah, he got those very early track kills, was just rolling in coins, a little bit like Scrooge McDuck. And now he's seeming to have a hard time. Once he does get this BKB, though, and pretty much once everybody core hero gets their BKB, he's the only one left who doesn't have one. Things are going to be going a little bit better. As that's happening, it looks like you have an Infest Bomb with Dworkit Baby and Subarc trying to catch somebody out, and of course they do find Wrong. So just Wrong in the wrong place at the wrong time. And of course, that is always the case with a name like Wrong.
That is just so wrong.
But I mean, yeah, it just looks like Druckwelle commanding this game right now, and 1-2-3 actually really far forward. Not too sure what he's doing here. If they can just catch 3-2-1 before he does anything, they know that he's here. You have a Blink Sand King, you need to be so careful. 1-2-3 now going to TP out of this, and if they can just catch 3-2-1 with a nice blink, that sort of thing, not going to happen though, as he tethers just to make sure he can get out of there. And the constant pressure out of Druckwelle, and not to mention these little Trents just doing chip damage to these towers, not too much. Combo them with a Necro 3 and you get pretty much as you did on the bot. It's just really difficult for top 5. I feel like they've just been stuck in their base, and of course that leaves this entire map wide open for Druckwelle to farm up, and if they want to, take a pretty easy Roche. All that they need really is Miffy's Medallion to make that all that much faster, but they don't even need it really.
And with this Roche going down the way it is, it seems like after this Roche is going to be done, Furon should have his... Oh, okay, he's going for Mantis style instead of Sheepstick. So he wants... No, wait, what? He just sold it again, so... Indecisive. Very indecisive Nature's Prophet.
I think it just
doesn't know what he wants.
I think he's, yeah, do I get the Mantis style to really make my pushes that much more obnoxious, or do I go for the, you know, the guaranteed lockdown, the Sheepstick, to make sure that Luna never gets to pop that BKB? And looks like Luna does pick up a Manta, so maybe going to be a little bit harder to push into. Still doesn't have full glaives at the moment, so not going to be able to stop everything. And with the amount of targets, obviously, just there is so much target saturation that you really do need as many glaives as possible. A smoke now goes down, and it looks like they're going to be trying to make something happen right here in the mid lane. Obviously, this sentry not going to find anything, and with the Sand King initiation, they might be able to get a little something something. And if Shanks even decides to get out of here, going to be very scary for them. It looks like now baiting out with Marky has the Sheepstick, obviously. Does Cube have his? Not quite, however. And now a track down doesn't really matter. Nobody really is seen yet. And it looks like Cube going into engage. They know now. Dworkit Baby trying his very best, but at the very least he catches out too. Has to use Burrow Strike and his little blink to get in there. And it looks like, was that 3-2-1 or 1-2-3? It was 3-2-1. Gets in there with the ult, not too sure what happens, realizing this is a horrible fight. Everybody was invisible. Things not going their way. Eclipse is used. Dworkit Baby immediately melting, and now looks like Fly trying his very best with that BKB to take down Subarc. Subarc actually just able to man mode through this. Doesn't matter. Has the Aegis. 1-2-3 gonna be falling finally to that Soul Assumption. Looks like there is no open wounds to try and catch out Fly, and with that he does get a double kill, but they're going straight for the throne. They know they don't need the racks at all, and the buybacks are just not coming, and there's the GG. So it does indeed look like Team Druckwelle coming out and leading 1-0 in this best of 3, and that's one of the only times I've actually seen the throne fall from damage.
Oh, yeah. That was... I think after this game, top 5 really need to rethink about their strategies and just think about something a little bit more solid. They had a game plan, but it it just feels like the lineup was slightly incomplete.
Things just not panning out for them. But of course, thank you everybody for tuning in to the ESPL Weekly Series number 5. I, of course, have been Briefcase along with Mito, bringing you this lovely and not too bad semi-final between Druckwelle and Top 5. Stay tuned. We'll be having the next game coming up very shortly. And Mito, play me out.
Okay, let's see. Yes, stay around, and game 2 will be coming up shortly, yeah?